Now, y'all know I stay in the African TikTok streets because I have to go collect my data, right? Because we all know Africans are liars. So if I sat here and said something about how Africans act, they would all just come here and be like, big. That did not occur. We have never done anything wrong in our lives. So I have to go on African TikTok and simply observe them acting how they act and just document it, right? Because otherwise they'll lie unless you got proof, right? I think most African Americans would agree with me. Now, if y'all don't, go ahead and comment and tell me you don't agree or whatever. But I feel like someone who is half African American and half of another black ethnicity is, I would claim them as African American. You know what I'm saying? Like, if they're half African American and half Nigerian, I have no problem embracing them and calling them African American. I really don't. Now, it's different when somebody is half African American and half non-black. Like, if you have Japanese or something, then no, I'm not calling you African American. But if you're half of another black ethnicity, like some sort of African or Caribbean or something, then I have no issue embracing you as black. Of course, you're half of your other ethnicity as well. One of my subscribers is half African American and half Haitian. I have no issue when he calls himself African American. I really don't care, right? I would never be like, ugh, you rest avec, baby. Like, no, I would not do that because, he black, period, and he half African American. You know what I'm saying? Now, like I said, it's different when it's somebody who's half African American and half non-black because, like, if you like half African American, half white, or half African American, half Asian or something, then of course I'm like, okay, yeah, no, you're not African American, back up. But like I said, someone who is black and they're two different halves of two different black ethnicities, I have no problem welcoming them with open arms. I would never in my life be like, ugh, you have African, like, PU, like, never. That would not be a thing. And I think most African Americans would agree with me, right? But I don't, though. Have you noticed that every time I make a video about Africans, it's because you guys have said something ignorant about African Americans and I call y'all out on it and I point out y'all hypocrisy and stuff? Like, I'm never just randomly attacking y'all. What happens is that you all attack us and I say, no, you can't do that, and you all misconstrue that as me hating you, right? The fact of the matter is, African Americans do not hate other ethnicities of black people. Quite frankly, we don't really think about y'all. Like, African Americans don't sit there and have conversations like, I wonder what those Africans are up to. You know what I'm saying? Like, we don't do that, right? And the honest to God truth is, like, let's be very honest here, a lot of black ethnicities hate African Americans, especially Africans. Now, Caribbeans, they're a little iffy sometimes, but they not that horrible all the time. But Africans especially hate African Americans because of the fact that Africans are extremely tribalistic. They don't function based off of race, they function based off of tribe, right? And we are not the same tribe as them. So just like they hate the Odudu tribe and the Ubegwe tribe, they super hate African Americans because not only are we a different tribe, but we're completely like way outside of the continent, right? And also a lot of them feel a lot of envy, y'all, because let's be real. Let's be real. If an African American man came into the church with an African woman, African American women would not be jumping around hollering and screaming like, oh my God, he's married to an African. Like, we would not care because we don't feel envy towards them, right? Y'all know good and well, if an African American man came into the church with an African woman, African American women would not be thinking about neither one of them. Like, that, I can't even imagine that crossing my mind. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't even imagine thinking about them, much less getting up and hollering and screaming and acting a fool, because at that point, you're trying to prove a point. You know what I'm saying?